Hi everyone. In this video I'm going to talk about hard fat versus soft fat. And if you have no clue what the heck I'm talking about, we've all seen the different kinds of body types that are out there. Sometimes you'll see a person who their belly is just really floppy and jiggly and it kind of hangs over the front of their pants, especially the morbidly obese or the very obese people. Even I have, the lower part of my stomach goes out and forward. Well, that's the first kind of fat. It's called soft fat, and well, the proper name for it is subcutaneous fat. I know it's a lengthy 2-mile long word, but the subcutaneous fat is it's really soft, it's really jiggly. It's the kind that you get on your arms or on your sides, at the very bottom of your belly that hangs down. You can grab, or even on your face, you can grab subcutaneous fat and hold it, whatever. And then there's the other kind of body fat. It's called visceral fat. And this is the stuff, well, all excessive fat is not good for you, but the visceral stuff is really, really nasty and horrible and bad in excess. The reason for this is it's different. You know how the flabby kind of fat, the subcutaneous fat. Well, in that case, there's going to be your stomach muscle, and then the fat, and then your skin on the outside. But with the visceral fat, the hard fat, there's going to be the fat, and then your stomach muscle, and then the skin. So basically, you've seen people with visceral fat. It's more common in men. You'll see a man with, his face and his arms and his legs look really normal, but his belly goes out like a basketball, and it's perfectly round, and you almost say he looks pregnant. And if you ever touch one of those people's stomachs, it's rock hard. This is not jiggly, floppy fat. It is, you could punch it and break your fist. It is rock hard fat. And the reason for that is because all that fat is trapped behind the stomach muscle. It's literally 8 inches of visceral fat and then a solid stomach wall muscle and then skin directly on top of that. It is actually woven around inside all of your organs. It's coating and wrapping itself around your liver, your kidneys, your heart, all of that, all through in between your intestines, and it's building up more and more and pushing your stomach muscle and pushing your abdominal wall out, like the same way a baby would be doing when a woman's pregnant, because a baby is back behind your stomach muscles and pushing your whole abdominal wall out. And the problem with this stuff is that it's metabolically active. So it's not just hanging around causing some flab. It actually secretes hormones, the kind of hormones you might not want in excess. It can cause a lot of inflammation in your body. Like whatever problems or symptoms you have, it just makes them worse. It's like a living organism that's making and creating stuff, and it's not good stuff that it's sending into your body. It causes the hard visceral fat causes you to be more susceptible to diabetes and a few different kinds of cancers, just all kinds of nasty, horrible stuff. It's really bad news, and you don't want that stuff at all. One thing I've noticed is that women, we get more of the subcutaneous fat, so like the soft, flabby, jiggly kind of fat, at least for the first 5 to 50 pounds of being overweight. It's mostly subcutaneous, soft, jiggly stuff. We start getting bigger, clinically obese, and that's when we start to see some visceral fat. And then the opposite side, men usually start out with that kind of beer belly, pot belly type of look with the hard belly protruding. Then later, as they get bigger and bigger, then they really start to pile on the jiggly, flabby, soft, subcutaneous stuff. So, men and women, we're kind of opposite in the way we gain and lose weight. That's not to say that there's no exceptions. Don't get me wrong, I've seen women who the rest of their whole body is skinny and they've got that solid, hard pot belly thing going on. So, I mean, I've seen some exceptions, absolutely. But for the most part, that's how we are. Now, so how do you know if you have visceral fat? Well, if you carry most of the bulk of your weight in your stomach, like your stomach is just really, really big and the rest of your body is relatively small by comparison. I mean, you know, your arms are not as severely bloated and obese as your stomach is. Man or woman, that's probably visceral fat. So the biggest thing you're going to notice is, well, if you're a man, you're definitely going to have the big basketball belly and most of it's going to be all firm. If you're a woman, what you're going to notice is the bottom of your belly, like the part that hangs down, is going to be soft and flabby. If that's your subcutaneous fat. Your love handles will be flabby. Your thighs will be flabby. Your arms. But at the top of your stomach, like from the bottom of your ribs to your belly button, especially when you're standing up or laying on your back, this is when you're going to notice this. It's basically your upper abdomen that I'm talking about. If that area is very firm, then you probably got some visceral fat going on. I definitely do. The bottom of my stomach is very, very soft and I can grab it very easily. And the top of my stomach, very firm. So definite yes for me. Now, I was reading up online, reading all the medical websites and the blog, and I remember reading on one of them. I'm going to have to try to look for it. I can't remember exactly where it was, but one of them said that a study was performed where people just dieted and then people just exercised. And the people who were exercising, they mostly lost the soft, flabby, jiggly, subcutaneous fat. And then the people who dieted mostly, didn't really exercise, just dieted, they mostly lost the visceral, hard, basketball belly fat. So basically, if you're like me and you've got both, then you're going to need to do both, you know. That's also the reason why, you know, a husband and a wife, you know, the husband can just stop drinking sodas and cut out bread, and his belly, his pot belly will just and disappear. And then the wife is like, what the heck, I cut that out too and I'm losing weight slower. Well, first off, women tend to have slower metabolisms than men. But second, women also tend to have more, way more subcutaneous jiggly fat than men. And subcutaneous is lost more from exercise. We're all very different, so we do have to keep that in mind. Okay, that's all I wanted to talk about on that subject. Just wanted to share it with you guys and maybe help answer some of the questions on why some people have, you know, the rounder, firmer midsection and it's all up high, and other people have this saggy, baggy type of fat. And hope that helped you out, and I will talk to you guys later.